Hi everyone, I'm Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. You can find me under the same name on Instagram if you'd like to follow me there. I primarily post cross-stitch things on that. I am back for my video number 2. It's been 2 weeks since I did my first video. I have quite a few things to show you today. Didn't think I would have this much, but it's accumulated, so I hope you enjoy it. It is Monday, March 14th, 2022. I just want to send my prayers and thoughts to the people of Ukraine with what they've been going through for the last 3 weeks. It's a terrible situation. I feel so bad for those people there. If you are interested in helping to support some of them, there are several Ukrainian cross-stitch designers, and if you go to the Etsy and search under cross-stitch under location of Ukraine or Ukrainian, it'll pull the Ukrainian cross-stitch designers, and you can purchase patterns from them and help to support them. They're PDF downloads, and then you can just print them out or save them on your tablet or however you like them. I usually print mine out. I've bought a few here lately from them, and they have very nice charts. They have wonderful designs. They're well charted out, easy to read, fairly inexpensive on Etsy. So go check them out, help support them a little bit. So on to cross stitch. I do have one finished from last week or 2 weeks ago. I started and finished this little Christmas piece. It's by Hobnob Designs. It was called C is for Christmas. I don't think they make these anymore. I did see some on either Etsy or eBay, I think. They are little designs that come in these little 2-inch plastic boxes, and they have a button that comes with them. They don't call for any specific colors. It'll just say red, green, black. It's a way to use up some of your scraps that you have on hand. The little picture that came with it was probably a 1-inch picture. It was hard to see, and it looked like it was done on pink. So I looked to see, and this was the only pink I had. It's a 19 count even weave, so I decided to do it on the 19 count over 2. So I used 3 strands of DMC floss over 2 threads, so that made it 9.5 stitches to the inch. So they're pretty good size X's. And then I just glued this little peppermint button that came with it up here on the top, and it's C is for Christmas. And I think I'm going to either do this in a pillow or a flat fold. Probably a flat fold because I like the way they store. And especially with holiday pieces, to be able to store them away like that, it makes it pretty nice. One thing that I wanted to mention before I show you my whips is my planner that I have. I use this. This is the second year that I've been using this. This one is by Blue Sky, and I buy it off of Amazon. I really like what I've done in this. I like to count my stitches each day, and I write down what I've stitched for the day. You keep a running total as I'm stitching through the day or at night, and then at the end of the day, I'll write what I stitched on and how many stitches I did that day. And then at the end of the month, I total them all up. Well, I ended up coming up with this idea because I had a little trouble just at a glance being able to tell what I had started or what I'd finished. I had to look for the note of where I had wrote down that I had started it. So in the very front of this, I took a piece of scrapbook paper and just taped it in. I bought some of these little stars like the teachers use. I guess they still use them, I don't know, that they put on kids' school papers. Give you a gold star for the day. I have a little color code up here in the top corner. A green star means I started a new project for the day. Gold star is a finish because finishes should always get a gold star. Silver star means it's a partial finish. So I'm doing the Santa Village from Little House Needlework. It's either Little House Needlework or Country Cottage. I always get those mixed up. But I'm doing I think there's 12 of them. So as I finish one of them, then I put a silver star on that. So I know I have a partial finish. And then the red one, I don't like to see red stars. Red stars means I did not stitch that day. So I like to try to stitch a little every day. And then the only thing I had left were blue stars, and I couldn't figure out what to do other than I didn't really want to throw them away, but I thought, well, I'll use blue stars for days that I work on anything else. So if I knit or if I sew or I quilt or something, I'll put a blue star on it and put down what I did, what I worked on for that. That hasn't worked out so well. I don't think to do it. I just primarily keep track of my cross stitch, and that's it. So I wanted to show you what I do. This is my January calendar, and you can see at a glance I've got green stars. So at a glance I started something that day. I have gold stars, so at a glance you see that I have some finishes in January. And look at them, 2 red stars right there. So that's 2 days in January that I did not stitch. And then at the end of the month, I tally up what I stitched for the whole day, or for the whole month. If I worked on more than one piece, then I will write those down. So like on the 7th, I stitched a little bit on the color of winter. I did 99 stitches, and then I also had a finish or a start here. It's Halloween Bat. It was a freebie, and so I did 407 stitches on it, and then I totaled them up, and I have a total of 506 stitches here at the bottom. So then, like I said, at the end of the month, I go through, total up every day, and I write them down here in the blanks where I've got blank squares. I have a total stitches for January. I did 13,182 stitches. The total days I stitched 29 days out of 31. The number of projects I worked on in January were 9 different projects. And then in the next one, I had 5 starts and I had 6 finishes. And then over here, I write down the different projects that I worked on for that month. So then I think I had 9 projects I worked on, so all 9 are listed right here. So this is just a little bit different than what I've seen some other people doing. It's just something I like to keep track of things. In the front of this, there is a contents page, and I wrote down all the whips I had coming into 2022. They're listed here, and then if I have a finish on one of them, I will put that date in this column. So right now, I only have finished out of my whips coming into 2022. I have finished Pandemic. I finished it on January 1st. This column is for 2022 starts and the day that I started them. And then this is the day I finished them. So if I start them here, and then as I finish them, I write the date over here. So I've had a lot more starts this year and a lot more finishes of those starts than I do on my whips that I came into the year with. But these whips are all on my Whip Go board, so I'm going to be working on them quite a bit throughout the year. And then on this page, it just says important dates, and it has each month with a few lines, and I write down the projects that I worked on for that month. So that's my planner. There's a place in the back for some notes. These are fairly inexpensive, and like I said, I just get them off of Amazon. So I bet you might be interested in those. My Whip Go board, I have so far, I have January, February goals met. I am doing on most everything. I think it may be everything. I'm doing 2,022 stitches. So these green squares here, I've just colored them in with colored pencil. I have this on my computer, but it's easy to print out. And then if I met my goal, I just colored in with a colored pencil. The ones that are in yellow right here are March's numbers that I am currently working on. And once I finish that, I'll just color that in with a colored pencil. So this is my WhipGo whip board. And this is my WhipGo ornament board. And all of these ornaments on this page have not been started, not a single one of them. And the green ones are the ones that I've done. I've met a goal on that. And those, so far, I have started and finished them. So not fully finished, but I have them finished as far as the cross stitching. There's a couple of them that I won't be able to finish in the same month that they're called, because I have I think it's a dimensions kit called Beaded Elegant Ornaments. It's several ornaments. I won't get those done. And Teresa Winsler's 12 Days of Christmas. I can't get those done in that month. So I'll just work on them, probably move them into next year on my WhipGo board for that. So then on to whips. I've been working on Sampler Girls by M Design, and that is this one. And I know all the lettering is backwards, or everything's backwards. It was after I uploaded my first video and then went back to watch it, I noticed everything was backwards, and I don't know how to turn that around. So until I figure it out, or my son-in-law can help me figure it out, we're going to have to look at it like this. So this is Sampler Girls by M Design. And this is my progress on it. And I have finished, I think I did these 2 quilt blocks here in the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I did the girl, the flowers. I think that's all I did. I think I filled in some of this little girl's dress too. So this is done on linen, but I'm not sure what the color is. I think it's a 32 count, but I mentioned in my last video that I hand dyed this one, but I did not hand dye this one. After I looked after the video, I thought this is not one of mine, but I'm not sure what it is. And then for my next one, I worked on the Prairie Schooler Village sampler. I found this when we were on vacation last year, and when I get this finished, it's going to go into a lid of a wooden box. And I told all about that in my first video, if you go back and watch it, or if you have watched it. I keep that in my Pioneer Woman bag that I made. This is, sorry, wrong side. This is the back. The inside is the same, and I use, on all my bags I make, I use clear vinyl with reinforced at the bottom. I've been making a lot of bags. I'm going to a retreat in Orange Beach, Alabama, the end of April. And I'm going to take bags with me to see if I can sell them down there. And then if I have any left and I get back, I'm going to put them in my Etsy shop, which is called DeanasSewingRoom. It's DEANA Sewing Room. I'll put that, try to put that listed at the bottom of my video. And this is my progress. I haven't gotten too far on this one. I've got, I think I did this, I did part of the house, and I think I did this over here since the last time, and the fence with the flowers. These little guys, I bought these off of Amazon. Everybody was showing these a good while back to hold their fabric up when it was hanging down. So I thought, well, that looks kind of cool. So I bought a bunch of them, and I didn't realize they came in different lengths. So this one is like 2.5 or 3 inches. It's not very handy for anything, but I got a whole bunch of them. So I just put them on there and I stick my needles on them. And then the next thing I worked on was Whoo by Lumious Fiber Arts. And I am working on this little cat right here. And the colors are black, just 310, DMC 310, and Weeks Dye Works Carrot. But I only had a little bit of carrot, and it calls for two skeins. So I just used the DMC that she had listed of 3853. And this is my progress so far on it. So you can see the difference there. And I like it like that. I like the orange that she chose, even if it isn't the hand of the overdyed. So I'm not sure how I'm going to finish those yet. I want to do the owl too, but I'm not sure when I'll do that. That is on my Whipco board, so if I get this one done this month, I'll have it on there again for the next time a new number is called. So let me put this away. You sure can make messes with this. I didn't realize doing floss tube, you made so many messes. It's like a big pile when you start, and then you throw it from one side to the other, and then you got the mess over there. I'm just locked into this corner here. Last time I was talking about Cape Cod girls and Cape Cod boys from the primitive needle. And I had done the border on the Cape Cod girls. And then I stopped on it and went to do the Cape Cod boys. And I had almost all the border done on Cape Cod boys. I had all the lettering done. I had these two little spiral shapes. I had, I think, one of these done. I had the whale done and the little boy in the boat. And I was doing this on 22 count hardanger that I dyed myself. And I decided I didn't like it. It needed to be, for some reason I stitched it in 2 strands and it looked horrible. So I decided to rip it out. And I got the girls ripped out, so it's ready to restart. The boys, I still have the whale and the little boy in the boat to finish ripping out. But boy, this is a lot of ripping. I'll get it there, but I wanted to go on and use the fabric because I liked it, and I knew I wouldn't be able to dye it again to look like that. So there's just no way you can dye them the same. So, and this is in my seahorse bag. And this was the second bag I made. I didn't put the reinforcing at the bottom, and I wish I did. So after I did this one, I now run the vinyl all the way to the bottom, but I have fabric reinforcing the inside of on both sides of the vinyl. So I think that just helps it to hold up better. All right, and then, whoops. And then I wanted to show you a couple of my whips. I haven't worked on them this year. They haven't been called, and I haven't had time to pull them out and work on them. But this one is Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. And this was a New Year's Day start of 2021. And I have it in my bird bag that I made. And I think that is really a pretty fabric. And this is my progress so far. And I'm showing you the back. Let's go this way. So it's all cross stitch, except there's some satin stitch in this flower pot here, and then in the middle of the peacock are Algerian eyelets, and those take a long time, and you don't make much progress when you're doing those. That's why it's just half done. I have to do a few of those and then go back and do some cross stitch. So, and then these are the colors And I had talked in my other video about a way to store my overdyed threads. I don't like thread drops, and I don't like this look at all. I bobbinate, and I like the neatness of it. So I think I have a way I'm going to do that. So I'll show you that in just a little bit. And then another one that I haven't worked on this year, I really like it, and it is by Carloyn Manning, and it's the Flower a Day, and this is really washed out. So I just took one side of my Q-snap off. This is what I have done so far. And it's on a bright yellow. This is really washed out and looks like a light yellow, but what I have it done on is like a really bright sunshine mustardy yellow. It's really yellow, bright. So it just doesn't come across that way on here. But you can almost picture like a dandelion color maybe. And speaking of dandelions, I have them in this bag, and these look like little dandelion puffs to me. So I keep it in this bag. And again, it's got the reinforced bottom. All right. Now, on to a few other things I wanted to show you that I've bought. We were at Camping World or Gander the other day. I don't know if you all are familiar with them, but they're an RV camper sales dealer. We had to have our camper worked on recently, and we went over to pick it up. And I was looking around, and I found this. And let me kind of get back and show you. And it's solid up here. It's not super sturdy, but it serves the purpose. But it has a cardboard up here, has a couple of pockets. It has 3 pockets on this side, and actually shows it sitting on a chair arm in a camper. But I thought that might work at my sewing chair, so it was like $8. I looked it up, and it is called, I wrote this down. If you go online, it's called the Sofa Armrest Organizer, and it's only $8. So I thought for $8, I'm going to try it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, I spent $8. But it really is pretty handy. I keep my book. This is what I keep my running total every day of my stitches in, and then transfer them to my calendar. And then I've got like my highlighter, pencil, notes, needles. My scissors aren't up there, but, and then I just flip it over, and you can throw it in a bag or something. But I thought for $8 I was going to give it a try. And that came from Camping World. And then another thing I wanted to show you that I ordered these off of Amazon. And I like scissors, but I really don't like to spend a lot of money on them. I think the higher price ones are pretty, but I just don't want to spend that money. I figure I can buy a chunk of fabric or some more patterns or something. But I saw these pop up on Facebook, and I thought they're $15, and I thought, well, I'm going to give them a try. And I really like them. And these, they came as a set of 2. This is called Plum Blossom Design. And this one is called the European style, I think. I'm really shaky. I'm sorry about that. But I think they're real pretty. They're stainless steel, it says. And then I made these fobs out of just some old beads. And I found these fish, I guess, buttons or charms. And I thought they were pretty cute. So I just made those and put them on a crab claw. So I have those, both of them. But if you like scissors that are not real expensive, but they're nice, they're really pointed on the end, and they're really pointed, so they're good if you've got to clip a thread, you know, to rip out. But yeah, I think they're nice, and they're really sharp. Then another thing well, let's see. Today I bought some more Pioneer Woman fabric for more bags. I dyed fabric this week. Actually, let me see. Color and Cotton. I noticed they had posted on Instagram, I believe it was, that they had fabric that were, I guess it didn't quite match what they wanted it to. So I bought 3 pieces from them. This is a 28 count Lugana, and I bought a 1/2 yard cut. And all it says is Rustic Limited Edition number 1001. So it's not anything you can buy. I guess it's just once they sell them out, they're gone. It just didn't match the color, I guess the color run they needed. But this is a 26 by 36. This one is another one I bought, and it's coming across brown, and it is brown, but it's got a little bit of green tint to it too. And this one is 32 count Belfast. It's not a whole lot of color modeling in it, but a little bit. And then I bought this one, which is a 36 count Edinburgh, and it's definitely a green. But it's a nice subtle green. There you go. It's not real bright. And then here's so there, and there. But those all came from Color and Cotton. Then I played with dye one day after my last video. I got out a camel. I have a color chart that I downloaded it from the Rit Dye website, and it tells you what colors, it shows you a little color sample, and it tells you what to mix to get that color. Well, I go with the colors that it calls for, but I kind of play with the measurements because they're doing big amounts and I'm doing small. So I used a camel and a tangerine, and I just had a little scrap, and I dyed this little piece, and it's an 18 count Ada, not very big. Then I did this piece. It's an 18 count Ada. I had some Adas that they were white, and I don't stitch on white Ada, and I needed to get them done something with. This is an 18 count, but the bad thing about this one is I had a fold line, and I even wet it down and ironed it and wet it down when I dyed it, and it's still, you can see that line right across there. So I'm going to have to just do some ornaments or something on that. I don't know why that fold line took more dye. Then I ended up getting a yellow. I think it was lemon yellow. And I put a little bit of that in. And I dyed this one. So it's got a little more yellow in spots. This one, it's got a flaw in the fabric over here, but that's not a big deal. I can work around it. And it's an 18 count. And what happened, I started out, I mixed the camel and the tangerine together, and I got it too dark. So I took a little Rubbermaid bowl, and I poured some of that in it, watered it down, and it was still too dark for what I wanted, but I thought I'll still use it. So I poured some of that into another Rubbermaid bowl and watered it down some more. So I had 3 different bowls, and it was all the same mixture other than light, medium, and dark. So that's how I got several of these. So this is another one I did. And then this one, I really like that. I just think it's fun to play with the different dies and see what you can come up with. And this is a 22 count hardanger, and it's big. It's a really, whoops, okay, I'm not going to take time to pick that off, but I have some black thread on there, but it's really a big piece. So I thought that really turned out nice. And then I put quite a bit of yellow, and what I did with these also, I used the light color, and I put them in a bowl, and I poured some of the light brown on there, poured some of the medium brown and some of the dark brown, and that's how I ended up with this. And then I put quite a bit of the yellow in with the last batch I had, and I got this one, and it's pretty yellow. It's not showing up on here, but it's got quite a yellow tint, but it also has the browns in it. So that's what I did playing with the dies. And then on the floss drops, when I was talking about I didn't like all this, I decided, I found these today, and I picked them up at Walmart. But they're the little snack bags. They're about a 5 by 5. And I've decided I'm going to put a card in there, an index card, and I'm going to put each one of these inside. And then I'm going to punch a hole in it. Like these are all the bees under my gem lark. So I'm going to put each one in an individual bag and then put it back on this curtain ring with the card labeling it. I think I'll like that better than to have all those stringing down. Then let's see. Let me show you what I bought from some of the Ukrainian designers. This is by 2x2 Stitch from Etsy. And these are on sale. I think I didn't give over $3.50 or $4 for any of these. So, and at a glance, let me just show you how easy their patterns are to read. Well, all right, hold on just a second. They're very easy to read. They're nice big print. But this one is by 2x2, and I don't even think it has a name. It just says 2x2 stitch art. And it's, it does say number 54. So take a look at them. They do a lot of monochrome pieces. This one is by Happy Mood Point. And I love those Quaker designs hanging like Christmas ornaments. And again, patterns are very easy to read. And then I already have these bound. This is another Happy Mood Point. And that one says sampler borders. And then this is the one by Fox and Rabbit for Laura Duet's birthday. That was free with a donation to an organization that you wanted to donate to. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was I have these, if I have patterns that I have lots of pages, I have these cover sheets and this binding machine. I didn't buy this. My husband gave it to me for Christmas this last year. And it's actually called a binding machine. And I don't know if you work in an office, you probably know what it is. It's this type of machine. And you would slide your patterns. It comes with instruction sheets, but you have backing sheets, and then you have cover sheets. These are clear. It just doesn't look like it. And then you have binding combs. And you put your pattern in the bottom part right here. Let me stand up. Okay, so you would put your pattern in here, line it up over here, push this down. I'm going to take it out so I don't poke holes in it. You would push it down with this arm, and it would poke holes across the edge of your paper. And as you do all of them, you do your cover, your back, all your papers. And then when you're ready to bind it, you would put, oh, I already have a comb in there. You would put one of your combs back here, and you would push this the other way, and it opens the combs up, and you just slide all your papers on the little tabs. And then when you get all of them on there, you just pull it back down, and it closes the combs up. And then you have your book bound. So that's how it is. But it's pretty handy. I used to do these at work off and on all the time. But if there's very many pages, like some of these have 20 pages, and I just like to put them in here, keep them neat looking, because I run a working copy off of everything I have. And then I've got these. They're not cross-stitch related, but I wanted to show them to you anyway because I thought they were turning out so cute. I've been working on this the last few days. And I got this pattern off of YouTube called Deb's Days. And they're carrots. They're fabric carrots. They are so quick and easy to make. And you put the little top on them. This is when I sewed it together. It's just a triangle with a little green strip across the top. You stuff them. You cut the tops. Just slice them down any old way. And I thought they were so cute. So that's my bowl of carrots. And I still have some more cut out, ready to stuff. And I've been stuffing them just when I watch TV here and there. So I think that's about it for today. I can't think of anything else. So I guess that's all of it. I just hope y'all enjoyed this. If you enjoyed it, I'd like for you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get notifications of my next video. Please comment below if you have any questions. Also, just put those below and I'll try to answer them in my next one. I did have a lady that asked me if I stitch on 18 count with 2 strands or 1 strand, and that just kind of depends on the look I want. If I'm doing something kind of primitive looking, I stitch with 1 strand. If I want it to fill in more, I use 2. When I was stitching Pandemic by Long Dog, I started to use 1 strand, and it just wasn't the look I was going for, so I ended up using 2 strands on 18 count Ada for Pandemic by Long Dog. But I think I'm working on something now on 18 count, I can't remember, and I'm using just 1 strand on it. So it just kind of depends on the look. So just try it. If you don't like it, rip it out and do a few stitches and rip it out and try it again with another amount. So but anyway, you can, like I said, you can find me on Instagram under the Nightly Stitcher, and I'm on Facebook, but I don't really put anything cross stitch on Facebook under my name. So the Instagram is where you'll see posts of my cross stitch. So I guess that'll be it. I'll try to do some links below. I'm not sure if I can do it or not since I don't know how to edit. I will try to see what I can do and get better at this each time. So I guess that's it for now. So y'all have a good day, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.